What's up, rockers from all across the world? Welcome to another episode of Horns Up. And for this review, I traveled all the way to Orlando, Florida for a quick turn and burn, less than 24 hours to go see the Dev at Shovelhead. Now, before I kick this off, I gotta give a big shout out and love to my boys in the Negative Creep crew. They do custom bleach shirts, and they sent this Marilyn Manson one over to me. I loved it because I saw it, I spotted it, and they sent it over to me. It's awesome. They do custom bleach shirts and their own line. They may have some left in their drop 5, but they're always doing it, and they do custom orders. It's pretty badass, I gotta say. It's pretty sick. Anyways, let's get this review started. So how I found the Dev was actually through their guitar player, Ryan. He messaged me on Instagram like, hey, we're friends with Bobby Keller. Do you want to check out our music and give us what your feedback on it? I did. They only had 2 singles out at the time, and I was blown away. I'm like, yo, I'm starting up my season. I would love to have you guys on there, and I want to showcase you guys because they're incredibly talented. They're a 5-piece band, and traditionally most bands are a 4-piece or the rare 3-piece band. And so you might think, why do they have 2 guitar players on there? Well, they kind of need it for their sound, honestly, because the 2 guitar players they have, you have Ryan and Barrett Jones. And from seeing them live and also hearing their music, there's not a blend. You know, they're not playing together. On some of the rhythm parts, yes, they are, but they have their own standouts in each song and live. So honestly, it makes them better for having 2 guitar players. Each have their distinct sound, and you can actually tell a difference, as opposed to most bands where it sounds like one sound and you're like, why do you have 6 basses, 5 guitarists? It's unnecessary. For them, it's necessary, and it's part of their band look. But the centerfold of this band and the front woman, Nicola, is absolutely amazing. The best way I described her even during the interview is Lizzie Hale, but in dominatrix form. Like, she's gonna get those heels and stick it right in your eye, and you're gonna love it in a nice, creepy way.
Okay, son of a bitch!
But like I said, they're a 5-piece band, and the other 2 members that are actually double rolled that night, they played with another band as a fill-in, and then hopped into their band. So this even shows how more badass they are, and they're incredibly talented. Is John, I'm gonna pronounce your last name, I'm sorry, yeah, Panauchi, and Chris Caruso on drums. John plays bass and Chris is on drums. John, their bassist, when I'm seeing him playing for the band previous for them, he was filling in, you can hear the mileage on him, like in a good way. Like, he's been around and played for the longest, and I believe he's the oldest member in the band as well. I'm not going to say his age, but you can hear him. He's an incredibly talented bassist, and from the record, and then from also hearing them live and the band that he filled in for, that dude can freaking slap at the bass.
I'm slapping the bass!
And from boy Chris on the drums, now think about it as the Northman from the Game of Thrones, you know, big Northman.
That's how I got so strong. Giant's milk.
But well educated and versed in the language of music. Now, for the venue, Shovelhead itself, it's definitely got character. And in fact, like Richie from Mindscar was like, dude, our studio is like down the street from there. And it reminded me a lot of a local venue over here that's unfortunately no more because of COVID-19, is Malone's. It's definitely, you know, it's a smoking bar. You have all kinds of cheap beer on tap, but good beer too as well. And all kinds of cocktails for dirt cheap for like $5. You know, it's a local bar scene for bands to showcase themselves, and it's a home spot for the Dev as well. My only negative note towards Shovelhead would be their sound guy, because like when during the Dev set, I could barely hear Ryan sometimes, a lot of Barrett, and they have intricate sounds that you need to hear. And even Ryan noted that, you know, after set when we're hanging out, it's like, I could barely hear myself. I had to go straight up to my amp just to be able to hear myself.
Can't hear you!
Because the sound guy had Barrett so loud. But it's not on their fault, it's their sound guy. That's my only thing. Maybe they can find a better sound guy to do it. Nothing against him, but in other bands as well playing that night, I heard discrepancies like that going through the show. But besides the minor sound stuff, the Dev's stage presence was on fucking point. They owned that stage. They took that stage like, yo, we have been practicing every single fucking day because of the stupid bullshit COVID, and we're here to rock. And they fucking did. They owned every second of when they were playing. Nikolai was just a mistress. She was Elvira. She was everything. She was seducing everyone in the crowd. She had it down point. She was putting a spell on you. Everyone was in their roles. Everyone was wrapped up and playing the best they could ever do, because you know what, they're excited to be back on that stage, and that energy pushed back out to the fans. Everyone was pumped, and it was great to see that. Now for the set list, and we talked about this when on our interview, like when they do a show, they're gonna have more songs, because they only have 2 songs out right now, which is Broken Lies and Queen of the Damned. So they had a lot more songs to play with. They kicked off their set with their first single they released back in 2019, Broken Lies, then Blood Brothers, Go to Black, Emerald City, Thrill of It, Shameless Life, Don't Ya, CCW, which is a brand new song they played live and they haven't released it, which I think is going to be their next single as well. That was amazing. I was blown away by that song. And of course, they finished off their night with their hit song, Queen of the Damned. But what was really cool, before Queen of the Damned came in, they did a nice tribute to Eddie Van Halen with Running with the Devil. That was really cool and a nice nod to Eddie Van Halen. For my total review of the Dev at Shovelhead in Orlando, Florida, 2 huge horns up. I mean this in the most positive way, that they sound better live than they do on recording, which on recording they sound great, fucking amazing. That's why I loved hearing them. That's why I wanted to come out and see them. But live, they sound even better. And their stage performance is what wraps it up, because you're a performer. You know, it's great. You can play great music. That's awesome. But you couldn't put a show on at the same time. And they did. Nikolai freaking just gets you mesmerized, locked in the show, and next thing you know, you're taking 5 shots and now you're raging all night. That's how good the show was. This was a quick turn and burn to Orlando. Like, I was literally there for less than 24 hours, and I did so much because I had to rush in there. You know, I had an early flight back to come back to California. I even caught some beers and hung out with AJ from Common Vision. It was awesome to chat with the dude, and we talked a crap load about guitars and then their music, and he even played a new single for me that's going to be coming out pretty soon. It's a fucking banger. I'm stoked on it. Those guys are very talented as well. I need to come back out to Orlando because I didn't get to hang out with Bobby. I didn't hang out with Mindscar. There was just too much I needed to do out there, and I'm going to come back for a longer trip. But I did love my Orlando trip. And that was my review of the Dev at Shovelhead in Orlando, Florida. You know, check out our interview, which I'll have the link posted below and at the end of this for you to check out. You know, get to know them. They're awesome people. It's even better when you're interviewing a band, you get them to just know them from one way, and then when you go to their show and we all hang out and cheers and some beers after it, they're great people. I'm really excited for this group because they are incredibly talented, and I can't wait to see what more they're going to be coming. And of course, I'm going to be coming out to their shows more, hopefully even getting them out here when California can have shows, hopefully soon. But thank you for watching. Give it a look out for their music and whatnot. Follow them. I'll have them all linked below, all that good stuff. I've had it down below for the first time, my Instagram page at The Traveling Rocker. So cheers, guys. Stay safe, and shows are coming back, you know. Shows are finally coming back. And so let's keep our horns up, and maybe next year we're going to have some festivals finally. Laters, guys.